Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to start with linear programming problem. That is a very basic concept which is used in our day-to-day life, right? So how? Let's take an example. Suppose a vendor wants to sell some items. Let's take pencil and rubbers. Suppose he wants to sell some pencils and some rubbers and he wants to make maximum profit out of selling some number of pencils and rubbers, and he wants to find out that out of whatever items he is having with us, what he want to sell, it would make him maximum profit. Then how to find it out? Suppose he is having a number of pencil and rubber. Suppose for calculating a less number of amount, he can just calculate it orally. But if it is a number, if it is a great number, how to find it out? Yeah, if it is having some big things, how to find out the maximum profit that he can get, and what number of pencil or rubbers he has to sell to get the maximum profit. So this all, if we want to find out, that linear programming problem is helpful in that case, right? How is it helpful in
Good
that?
morning.
Good morning. How is it helpful in that case? He will be taking some conditions. He will be taking, he has to optimize the conditions such that he has to make a maximum profit. Whenever we want to maximize, we always want that profit should be maximum. Whatever thing we are manufacturing, whatever thing we are selling, always we know that we need the maximum profit, right? All of you need the maximum profit. Or if we are buying something, what do we need? If we are buying something, what do we need? Can anyone tell me? If we buy something, if we go and buy something, what do we ask the seller for? If he says that it is of so much of rupees, so what do we say him?
ठीक लगा ले.
Okay, Avnish. So yes, we say that okay, ठीक लगा लो इसे, please, if you can cut some cost. So we need the minimum cost of that thing. Whenever we are taking profit, we always need maximum profit, and whenever we are buying something, we need the minimum cost. So all such type of problems where profit is to be minimized and cost is to be profit is to be maximized and cost is to be minimized, they come under linear programming problems, right? So let's see how we are going to take that linear programming problem. We will be coming to all the conditions of linear programming problem. So such problems which seek to maximize or minimize, maximizing profit, minimizing cost, form of a general class of problems, and they are termed as optimization problems. Why are they termed as optimization? Because we are optimizing something. Either we are optimizing profit, maximizing that, or we are optimizing cost, that is minimizing that. Thus, an optimization problem may involve maximizing profit, minimizing cost, या फिर minimizing resources also. That is also a type of linear programming problem. And out of all such optimization problems, a special class we have taken, that is linear programming problem, where we will be taking the variables which are linear, right? And you all know what is linear. You have always studied up in class. Continuation may you are studying that thing, that what is linear. Whenever the variable is having a degree 1. Whatever variables we take, if the degree is 1, then we say that the problem is linear, right? So the above stated, whatever example I have given to you for maximizing profit or minimizing some cost if we are going to buy something, all such are linear programming problems. Now, we will be studying about different conditions of a linear programming problem. And let's see what is the mathematical formulation of the problem. So first of all, we are taking a simple example, and using that example, we will be formulating the problem. So see, these are optimization problems, okay? They may be maximizing cost or minimizing, maximizing profit or minimizing cost, right? It is a set of, yeah, we can say a class of optimization problems. So let's take an example here. Let X be the number of tables and Y be the number of chairs that the dealer buys. Now, when we are buying something, that can never be negative. Yes, whenever we go to buy something, whenever a thing is there with us, it can never be negative. Table cannot be negative, chair cannot be negative. So always one set of condition will be there. If X is the number of tables and Y is the number of chairs, then X and Y both will be greater than equal to 0. Yes, so this is the basic condition that we have. When X is the number of tables, Y is the number of chairs, both will be greater than equal to 0. And these are termed as whatever terms we are going to use here, I'm just telling you about that. I'm just formulating the complete problem, that what all we will be having in this problem. These are non-negative constraints. Why are we saying them as non-negative constraints? Because they can never be negative. If a dealer is buying some tables or chairs, so that table and chair can never be negative. An item can never be negative. So these are termed as non-negative constraints. And what do we mean by constraint? It is a condition, right? Constraint is a condition. The dealer is constrained by the maximum amount he can invest and by maximum number of items he can store. Let's say the maximum number, okay, now what we have, suppose we are taking that the dealer wants to invest in such a way so as to maximize his profit. Now, whenever he is going to buy something and then he wants to sell it, I must invest in such a way that I can maximize my profit when I go to sell these things. So that maximum profit function we are taking as Z. Right, so this is the objective function. Whatever function we are going to maximize or minimize, here in case the dealer wants that whenever he will just go and sell these items, they should be sold at a maximum profit. So that function which is to be maximized or minimized, that is objective function. Function which is to be maximized or minimized. This is the objective function, right? Now, what will this objective function have? This will have certain number of conditions here, like let's say we have the condition as 4x plus y. That is 4 tables and 1 chair, right? If a person is going somewhere. So it is 4 tables and 1 chair. So maximum profit we will get by selling these 4 into x plus y. The variables will be in terms of tables and chairs only because he is taking these 2 items. Now, he has some conditions also. What type of conditions? Investment constraints, right? Investment conditions are there. Some storage conditions are there. So after the subjective function, there are some other constraints. He can store only this much of chairs and this much of tables. Like let's say he can store 5 chairs and 6 tables. Maximum of this can be stored. So this will be, let's say it is less than equal to 25. The addition of tables and chairs, the maximum amount that he can store is 25. So when we take this constraint here, so the addition of these 2 variables will be always less than or equal to 25. Maximum ये store कर सकता है, so it is less than equal to 25. Some other constraints may also be there. Let's say another condition we are having here, less than equal to 5. these two conditions, these are some conditions of storage or maybe what items he is liking. So any condition we can have here. So these are another set of inequalities which we have here, or restrictions. He has some restrictions. ऐसा तो नहीं है कि he just can go and buy any amount. Yeah, he can only buy this much of items so that he can sell it. So these are some restrictions which he is having when he is going to buy the item for selling. So these are termed as restrictions, or we can also say linear constraints. These are linear constraints or restrictions. Right? Now, using all these conditions, what do we have here? One is the linear constraints. There may be one, there may be two, there may be three linear constraints. जितने भी restrictions होंगे, they can be more than one. Okay, so these are the linear constraints. We have an objective function here, and we have the non-negative constraints. So these three things are very important whenever we are going to study about a linear programming problem, right? Now, let's take an example here in which, see, we have two types of questions here. One is when the formulation of the problem is given to us, this complete set of problem is given, these conditions are given, and you have to solve them and find out the maximum or minimum out of that. Another set of problem that we have here is, first of all, whatever problem is given to you, you have to formulate that problem first, that is, make it into a linear constraint, an objective function, and then solve it. Some word problem will be given to you, and then you will convert it to this set of problems, and then you solve it to find out the objective function. Right? Now, we will be taking one simple problem, and using that, I'll be making you clear that what all conditions are applied like this. So let's take a very simple problem and let's see how can a linear programming problem be solved. Okay. So we are taking the question here. So all these things are there. I just want to give you an idea that what all we will be having in a linear programming problem. We'll be having an objective function which is to be maximized or minimized. We'll be having non-negative constraints which are used to get the values of x and y, and we are having some linear constraints or restrictions. Now, how to solve them and get the value of x and y such that a objective function is either maximized or minimized, that we will look from here. So let's take a word. We are first of all taking a simple problem, and using that I will tell you about how to solve it and get the result. Okay. We are taking example 1 of your book, NCERT, that is, solve the following linear programming problem graphically. Now, when you have studied class 11th, in class 11th also, so this is the basic idea that you are getting from your class 11th, when you solved linear inequalities, right? In linear inequalities, you solved the graphical solution. You have got the graphical solution of linear inequalities in class 11th. We studied about that. And you solve them algebraically also. Yes, so two types of solutions can be there for linear inequalities. One is the algebraic solution and other is the graphical solution. So here, whenever we are formulating the problem, the basic method that we are using here is the graphical solution only. Okay, so that will be easy for us to solve because we may have a big number, we may have bigger digits also, so which are easy to solve by using graphical method. Yeah. So that's why whenever we are solving a linear programming problem, we are always taking graphical method because it is more feasible. So the question is, we are given maximum z equals to 4x plus y subject to subject to constraints. Constraints are also this. What is this given? This is termed as the objective function. Subject to constraints. Constraint means the linear constraints are there. X plus y less than equal to, let's write it here, x plus y less than equal to 50. Constraints, that is the linear constraints. So these two are the linear constraints. These are the linear constraints. And x greater than equal to 0, y greater than equal to 0. These are the non-negative constraints. So these three things are always there. So what we do when we solve it, the first step is to make the graph of this. We all know how to make graph of these lines. X plus y equals to 50. So let's first make this line. Because we have a bigger number here, 50, 90, we all know how to plot it. So we will make a table for this, for plotting. Let's take the first inequality here, and that is x plus y 50. Put the values of 50. 50 is there, so let's put some value of y and we will get the value of x. So we are putting some values and we get the inequality like this. Let's take 20, 30 and 20, 30. We are taking a difference of 10 here. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Let's take it here also. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Yes? Now, when we are plotting these points, 30, 20. So 30 is on x side, 20 is on y side, so we get this point. How many points do we need to make a line? Can anyone tell me? To make a line, minimum how many points do we need? Yes, Nandini? Nandini, just put on your mic. How many points we need to make a line? Anyone from the class?
2.
2 points, very good. Minimum 2 points is required to make a line, so no need to plot more than 2, no need to take more than 2. And one we have taken as 30, 20, another is 20, 30, another is 20, 30. And let's join these 2 points. When we are joining these 2 points, somewhere they will meet here, somewhere they'll meet here, and we get a line. So this is the inequality that we are getting. Because it is an inequality, you all know, whenever you are making a line, just write down the equation here, x plus y equal to 50, so that it is clear for you that this is the line. And what do we do to get the solution of inequality? What do we used to do when we need the solution of inequality? Anyone? Rashmi, what do we need to do whenever we need to get the solution of inequality? Where does the solution of inequality lies?
At the intersection of 2 lines.
Okay, at the intersection of 2 lines, and also whenever we are taking only single line is there, then either it lies on the upper half of this plane or it lies on the lower half of this plane, right? So what do we do for that? We just mark arrows for that. So here when we are looking at the inequality, we have a less than sign. That means the arrows will be towards the origin if the line is not passing through origin, right? The arrows will be, you just recall your class 11th linear inequalities, the arrows will be towards the origin if the line is not passing through origin. That means solution of this inequality lies towards the origin. We'll just mark the arrows here. Now, let's come to the second line. The second line that we have is 3x plus y. Let's make a table here. It will be easy for us if we are making the table to plot the line. So if we are taking this 3x plus y, so let's take y equals to 0. If we are taking y equal to 0, what do we get? 3 3s are 9. X we get as 30. Okay. So if y equals to 0, so what do we get? X equals to 30. Let's take y equals to, what we can take is, we can take y as 20 and we can take y as 30. So 90 minus 30, 60 and 3 2s are, we get it as 20. Let's plot these values. X is 30, y is 0. That means it will lie on x-axis. Another, it is 20, 30. 20, 30 is the point here. This one is 20, 30. So you just, if whatever points you are plotting, you can just mark those points also. So it will be easy for you to check them. This is 30, 20. This is 20, 30. This is 30, 0. And let's join these points. When we are joining these points, whenever we are making a line, always you should just be clear that the line such we are making should always intersect. We will extend the line such that it is intersecting x and y axis. Okay, whenever you are making line, just extend it such that it is intersecting x and y axis. Now this is the second line. As you are making the line, just write down the inequality or equation you can write here. Again, we need the solution of this linear inequality. Since, let's look at the sign, it is less than equal to, again the arrows will be marked towards the origin. Now 2 we have plotted. Third one is from here, which are the non-negative constraints. Now what do we get from here? X equal to 0 means y-axis, y equal to 0 means x-axis, right? Always. X equal to 0 is the equation of y-axis, y equal to 0 is the equation of x-axis. And when we are having a sign of greater than equal to, that means positive side of x-axis, positive side of y-axis. So positive sides, let's mark arrows. It is positive side of y-axis, it is positive side of x-axis. And when we need the solution, finally, the solution will be that common region where all the 4 types of arrows are marked. How many inequalities do we have? 1, 2, this is 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4 inequalities we have. So for 2, we have made the lines. For other 2, that is the non-linear constraints we have, or non-negative constraints, we have x-axis and y-axis. So we should have 4 arrows, right? So 2 arrows we've marked here, another 2 are here. Let's see which common region is there where all the 4 arrows are pointing. So this is the common region where all the 4 arrows are pointing. Right? This is the common region where all the 4 arrows are pointing. Let's mark the corner points of this region. Up till this, you have done in your class 11 to mark the common region, right? And we used to say that this is the solution region. Now, in optimizing a problem, we need to do something more here in this case. What we need to do now? We will just mark the corner points. Corner points wherever these graph is there, maximum number of points here. These are wherever the intersections of any 2 lines are there. So intersection of any 2 lines, they are at 1, 2, 3, 4 points. And we will mark the coordinates of these corner points. So this is 20, 30, this is 30, 0, this is 0, 0, and this is 50, 0. So 4 corner points are there, right? Now, how to find out the optimum solution using these 4 corner points? Let's see how to find it out. We will make a table now, and that is, let's make a table which is, and the, okay, we are writing down the corner points here, and we are writing down our objective function. What was the objective function? 4x plus y. So this is the table. Let's write down all the 4 corner points, 0, 0, 20, 30, then 30, 0, and 50, 0. We will just satisfy these corner points here in the objective function. Let's satisfy these corner points in the objective function. So when we are satisfying 0, 0, what do we get? We get 0. When we satisfy 20, 30, so 4 2s are 8, 80 plus 30, that is 120. Sorry, it is 110. Then let's satisfy, this is 30, 0 here. If we are satisfying 30, 0, so 4 3s are 12, 120 plus 0, we get 120. And if we satisfy 50, and it is 0, 50, sorry. This is 0, 50. If we satisfy 0, 50, we are getting 50. What we have to do, let's look at the question. We have to maximize Z. We have to maximize objective function. So what maximum value we are having here? We are having the maximum value as 120. This is maximum. Just mark maximum here. And we need to maximize this. We need to find out those values of x and y where the objective function is maximum. So the value of x is 30 and value of y is 0. And at these points, the function is maximum. So we say at x equal to 30 and y equal to 0, objective function, or we can say z is maximum. At x equal to 30 and y equal to 0, z is maximum, right? So this is what we have to find out. That is the maximum value of z, and maximum value of z is 120 at what values of x and y? At x equal to 30 and y equals to 0. So this is our complete 6 marks linear programming problem, right? So we get it in 6 marks. This year we were having it in 4 marks because there was just a change in the question paper pattern. So, but whenever we get a word problem, simple problem, they can give in 4 marks. And whenever we are getting a word problem, there you have to formulate these linear inequalities also, or formulate these constraints using the word problem. Looking at the word problem, you have to make these linear inequalities, you have to make the objective function, always non-negative constraints will be there. After making these, you further will move to the graph. Now see, whenever we are talking about a solution, solution will lie at each and every point in this region, right? That terms each and every point. We will have infinite number of points where the solution will lie. Infinite number of points in this region on the lines also, yeah. All that points the solution will lie, but we have to find out the most feasible solution, सबसे बढ़िया वाला solution which will maximize this z. So most feasible solution always lies on corner points, right? Out of those such infinite number of points, most feasible solution lies on the corner points. That is why we have taken the condition, or that is why we have calculated maximum z only at the corner points and not at all these infinite number of points. No need to take any other point leaving these corner points, because solution is there at each and every point, but the maximum or the most feasible solution will lie always at the corner points, right? So we may have 3 corner points, we may have 4 corner points. That depends on the graph that you are having here. So you will take all these corner points here, you will just find out the value of z at that point, and if we need to find out maximum, we will take the maximum value, whatever we get, we'll write down that at this x and at this y, z is maximum. If they ask for minimum, you will take the minimum value, and then you can say that z is minimum at so and so x and so y. Yeah, so this is how that we have to solve this linear programming problem. So this is the basic concept of linear programming problem. Anything else that you want to ask, you can just ask if something is not clear to you. We'll be taking more problems. Tomorrow we'll be taking some more problems. First of all, we'll be doing the exercise, and all the concept is same for each and every problem. You just have to make the inequality, you make the graph, mark the common region, mark the corner points, and this method is termed as corner point method, right? This is corner point method, and this is the best method to find out the optimal solution. Best method to find out the optimal solution. Why we are taking corner points only? That I told you that the feasible solution lies, most feasible solution lies at the corner points. Okay, because we cannot check at all these infinite number of points. Solution will be there at all the points, but we cannot check it at all the infinite number of points. So we just will check at the corner points. Clear? Anything that you want to ask? Anyone related to this topic? We'll be taking other questions. We'll be continuing this topic. Today we've just started. So when we'll be doing more questions, it will be more clear to you. So you just read the basic concept of linear inequalities from class 11th book. If you want to understand it more, you can just read it from there and just try to solve one or two problems. And then we'll be discussing more problems tomorrow. And for today, let's end the session here. You have another class also, and we'll be meeting tomorrow at 7:30 a.m. Thank you and have a nice day.